Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you've never been here before, then hi, I'm Indiana Pixie and I'm a textile artist based in the UK, and today I'm going to show you a fairly typical day in my life. So this video was actually filmed in early November, but I just haven't had the time or the motivation to do anything with it because I was so crazy busy on the lead up to Christmas, and then I felt so incredibly burnt out. I actually worked out that I've only had 4 days off this year. I've worked every single weekday and weekend except I had 1 day off for my birthday in April, 1 day off for my partner's birthday in August, and then we had 2 days off when I went camping. You may have seen that in a previous video. And that is it, which is absolutely insane. I am currently taking a little bit of time off, which feels very much needed, and also means I get to sit down and finally edit this YouTube video. In 2025, I really want to be a bit more consistent with my YouTube videos. I really wanted to do that this year, but unfortunately, things just got a little bit crazy. Business was mental, so I just didn't have the time, but it's something that I really enjoy doing, so next year I want to make sure that I have the time to do things that I enjoy. Anyway, that is enough rambling, let's dive into the video. I always start my day with a coffee, sitting next to the heater, in front of my computer, and I'll respond to emails, order any supplies I might need, and scour eBay for vintage yarn. Then I move on to tufting. Oh my gosh, these birds are driving me mental today. Every time I talk, they start shouting. I'm really sorry if you can hear them. They are very annoying. Luckily, they're very cute. Tufting takes up the majority of my day, literally every day. I'm not sure how interesting this is for you guys to watch because I know it is quite repetitive, but it really does take up the bulk of my day, so I can't not show you, but hopefully it's not too tedious. I won't judge you if you skip ahead past the tufting part, but hopefully you'll stick around. If you are going to stick around for this little tufting segment, I'll just give you a quick rundown of my tufting process and the tools I use and what I'm working on in this particular video. So the tufting tool that I'm using it's called a speed tufting tool. It's made in the USA and it's from the 1970s. I have a couple of them. I think I have about 5 or 6 that I just rotate through. They all came with this really cute little metal threader, but I don't want to lose it, so I just used this needle with some yarn attached to it, and that's just what I use to thread my speed tufting tool. And the final tool that I use whilst tufting is a pair of duckbill scissors. They're just a curved pair of scissors. And in this video, I'm just working through a bunch of made-to-order pigeons. Pigeons have been pretty much the only thing that I've worked on this year. They've been so popular, they've kept me super busy, but I'm not complaining. I love pigeons, and I'm glad that there's a lot of love for pigeons out there. I do try to be as ethical and sustainable as I can in my practice, which means that a lot of the yarn that I use is sourced secondhand. Like a lot of the animal fibres, I get vintage, I get them from eBay, charity shops, so I'm like forever scouring for more yarn. Typically the only yarn that I'll buy new is an acrylic from Lovecrafts, and this is just for the background of the pigeon because I obviously need that to be as consistent as possible. I really love to either listen to an audiobook or watch a series whilst I'm working, although here I think I was rewatching The Vampire Diaries. I do tend to get through series really quickly, as you can imagine. After I finish tufting the actual pigeons and before I tuft the background, I like to just tidy up my yarn, put all of the yarn that I'm no longer using away, just because my studio is so tiny that I really have to keep on top of like the cleaning, because otherwise it just gets really messy really quickly and there's just no room to move around anyway. Okay, so this one is lime and this one is going to be a gold. After finishing tufting, I tend to sit down and have lunch. I hyperfixate on certain meals for like weeks on end, and at the minute, my favourite meal is toast with scrambled tofu and then an obscene amount of sriracha. I like to use my lunch times to scroll on social media and catch up on watching everybody's YouTube videos. And then straight after lunch, I get straight back to it, back in the studio. Here, I'm just marking where the fabric sits on the frame because I'm about to take these pigeons off so I can work on them a little bit and then put them back on the frame so I can glue them. And just marking on the fabric just shows me where they need to sit when they go back on the frame because it's really easy to put them on wonky and I don't want misshapen circles and hearts. So I'm going to put these pigeons to the side for now and work on something else. I have all of my t-shirts printed up in these 2 boxes, but I don't have enough packaging to post them all, but I'm going to post what I can whilst waiting for the new packaging to arrive. I think I only had like 4 or 5 bags to package these because I stupidly forgot to order packaging for them until the day before. Thank God for Amazon Prime. I try not to use Amazon, but sometimes it do be handy. I'm really glad that I introduced stickers and t-shirts into my shop because it's a lot more... I know it's not actually a passive income because obviously I still have to design the stickers and design and print the t-shirts, but it's a hell of a lot more of a passive income than what I'm used to with the textiles because everything's made to order and a lot of work goes in. It's a very slow process and very tiring. It takes up a lot of time. And well, I've only had 4 days off this year because of the textiles, so it's really nice to get an order for something that I've got there that I can just package and post. I've honestly also been super surprised by how well my t-shirts did. I had the 2 designs and I had 50 to start, and I didn't think that I would get through the first 50, but they sold out, so I did like a little pre-order of another 50 and they've all sold out at this point as well, which is so exciting, and I'm so happy that they were received so well. I'm also super grateful that my boyfriend took the time to print them all for me because I would not have found the time to do that alongside the textiles. I usually book a collection with a courier for my parcels just because there's usually quite a few and you just don't know how many the post office are going to take in person. But when I've just got a couple like this, it's nice just to take a mooch down to the post office myself and take them in. It was such a nice day outside. It was very cold, but just the air felt really wintry and crisp, so I didn't want to go home just yet. So I took a little walk and went to a local secondhand bookshop. I love this bookshop. I'm an avid reader. I read a lot of fiction, and all the fiction books in here are £1. But there are some gems in the non-fiction bit as well. They're all £2 each. I tend to love the nature section because they have some really beautiful illustrated books on birds. And then I found The Artist's Way, which I was so happy about because I had almost bought this the day before in Waterstones for 20 quid, and then I found it in here for £2. I always have a look through this glass cabinet they have in the kids section because it's always full to the brim of all of these vintage books and illustrated stories. I found some really interesting Western stories with these really cool illustrations in, so I did sit for quite a while and flick through just because I found it so inspiring, and it was just a treat to flick through all of these pages. So I'm going to go back to working on the pigeons that I took off the frame earlier, and this part's fairly hard to explain. I think you'll just be able to see it better when I show you a close-up in a second. But basically, where I've punched a lot of yarn through such a small surface area and they are loops, the loops kind of loop through each other, so the lines look blurry almost, but you'll be able to see what I mean in a sec. So here you can see a little better that the pink and the grey have looped together almost. So I'm just moving the loops back to where they should be. It takes a really long time. It's quite a long task, one that I don't particularly look forward to, but it does help tremendously with how the final piece looks, so it's well worth doing. The next thing I'm going to do is work on these pigeons. They need to be trimmed, and I need to back them and then get them ready to be shipped out. Needless to say, this part of the process also takes a very long time, and it's also really taxing on my hands. I have to trim all of these with a pair of scissors, which kind of after a while chafes and rubs on my fingers, and my hands just look so swollen and knobbly. So I just cover them in plasters just to help with the chafing, I guess. The trimming process is super self-explanatory. I'm just trimming any excess yarn, and then once I've done that, I'll put the piece flat on the ground and I'll trim over all of the lines just to make them a little cleaner and sharper. You'll see what I mean in a sec when I show you that part. I should probably be doing this at a desk or something, but I really like sitting on the floor. I just have a lot more space down here as well. As I said, my studio is really small. My desk isn't very big, so it's just a lot easier to work from the floor. This does take forever, but it's so worth it because look how good that looks. Got dark so quickly. I just went to turn the light on and it's actually already on. And there we have it, folks. It was way too dark to continue filming any longer, but I did stay up working because I wanted to get these finished and trimmed. I just thought I'd pop in some clips from the next morning so you could see what they look like. And that actually brings us to the end of the video anyway, so thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it to the end. You are the best, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon.